billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina wa nabiyyina wa habibi ilahina abil qasim al-Mustafa Muhammad wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin wa sahbihi al-muntajabin. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. In this program, which is being brought to you from the holy shrine of Imam Rida, peace be upon him, I am going to discuss some of the rules concerning our prayers. The subject in question in this program is whether we can change and convert a prayer into another one. In other words, we are praying the noon prayer, for example, or we are praying a recommended prayer. Can we actually change our mind and move on to another form of prayer from the current prayer? I am going to answer this question. But before that, you need to be familiar with the concept of ada and qada. Ada means when you fulfill your duty fully and completely and satisfactorily. And qada is when your prayer has been lapsed or missed unintentionally or intentionally, and you need to do it again. In other words, make up for it. So, back to the original question. Can we move from one prayer into another prayer or not? Sometimes we can and sometimes we cannot. So first we will touch on those circumstances where you can actually move from one prayer to another, where it is permissible. If you are performing a prayer which is ada, for example, it's one of the 5 daily prayers that you are doing. You're praying, for example, you have started your prayer with the intention of performing the evening prayer or the Maghrib prayer. And suddenly in between your prayer, you remember that your Asr or afternoon prayer has been lapsed or missed, and you need to perform that prayer. Currently, you are performing Ada, and you realize during your prayer that you have missed your Asr prayer. In this case, it is permissible for you to move on from Maghrib to Asr and finish your prayer as your Asr prayer, and later perform your Maghrib prayer. Of course, that is provided that you would have sufficient time to perform your Ada prayer. The second situation in which you may move from one prayer to another prayer is from a prayer that is qada to another prayer that is also qada. But this can only be from Asr to noon prayer, and from the night prayer to the evening prayer. So you are allowed, if you are praying Asr and your Asr is qada, it's been missed, and you want to make up for it. So you're praying your Asr, which is a qada prayer, and suddenly you remember that you should also perform a qada for your noon or dhuhr prayer. In this case, you are allowed to do so. And the same applies between your Isha and your Maghrib, provided both of them are qada prayers. So you're praying Isha, it's qada, you have to make up for it because you've missed it, and suddenly you remember that you have also missed your Maghrib or evening prayer, so you can move from Isha while you're praying in the midst of your prayer to Maghrib, finish your prayer as a Maghrib prayer, and then do your Isha prayer later. And finally, if you are in a Jama'ah, you may move from a Jama'ah prayer into an individual or Frada prayer. If there is a pressing reason like ill health and sickness that does not allow you to continue with the jama'ah, you may move on from a prayer, a congregational prayer, to an individual prayer. We will discuss the areas where you're not allowed to do such conversion in the next program, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.